Welcome, everybody. If you guys could let me know that you can hear me and see me all right, that would be greatly appreciated. Welcome, everyone on TikTok. Looks like we are moving there. Welcome, everybody on Instagram. Same thing, and it's very debatable here on Facebook, YouTube. If you guys are here, please let me know. 30 seconds into the show and the cats are fighting. They don't want to go outside. They don't want to, I don't know. They're never content. Okay, good. We have a few. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. So welcome, everyone. This is my Get a Grip on Your Love Life and Relationships show. And if you have not already submitted your question, you're going to want to go ahead and do that now. $5 gets you the short answer, $10 gets you the long answer. And wherever you make your payment, you can submit your question right there. Do include the first name or initials of whoever you're referring to. And if you want to switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy, which I greatly appreciate because this is the platform I focus on the most, you can actually make your payment and submit your question all right here. Okay, so you may want to do that. Also, we've been having some issues with people submitting payments under a totally different name than your social media account name. So we don't know which payment goes to whom. So when you submit your question, make sure if you're having to do it in the comment section, that you say, this is my payment name. Okay, we're all the same people. So keep that in mind, making it easier on my producer, Jill. All right, we are going to get into a couple quick announcements. And I want to start by saying thank you to my YouTube members. If we can pop that up. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, my YouTube members. If you guys want to become a YouTube member, go on to my account at Ask Ivy and hit the join button, and the different membership options will pop up there. Ay, Dios mío. Okay, I can't see anything. I will do my best. Yeah, I can't see that. Okay, so anyways, for all my, oh, thank you. Can it get bigger? Yes, if it can get bigger, that would be great. Thank you so much. That's good. Nope. Bigger. Nah, that's good. That's good, actually. I feel like I'm at the eye doctor. How embarrassing. I have issues. Okay, Michaela Garcia, Tiffany Smith, Maraid, Jennifer Cole, Mariposa Oscura, Masubi, Jill Marie, Cody, Stella Marie, Heather G, Yolanda Fisher, Mary Audra, Erica Trotter, Robin Hartling, Chicken Mama, Tristan Marion, Edgar Velardes, Deanna Altieri, Vanessa, Me Love 716, Andrea M, and Jan Phillips. Thank you so much to my YouTube members. And of course, when you are a member, you get all kinds of perks like weekly messages, direct email reads every month, horoscopes, mini classes, and much more. And on a show like this, you get moved up to the front of the line. So Jill, my beautiful producer, if you are a member, she'll be moving you right up to the front. So a couple more quick announcements here we do have coming up. Oliver Street Pride Festival. This is going to be Saturday, June 15th at Heritage Park. That's Oliver Street in Tonawanda. So if you want to pre-book a reading with me, you can go up on my website, Rivera Psychic Medium.com, or you can come on down for a walk-in if there's room. Oliver Street Pride Fest. I've been doing this the past couple years, and it's always a huge hit. That place is packed, amazing vendors. And what I really love about this event is that there are so many local artists and like crafters. There's a lot happening there that's like out of the line of the generic typical vending market, so come check it out, celebrate Pride. I will also be at the Spirits with Spirits Psychic Fair at Margin Manor Winery. So the hauntingly beautiful Margin Manor Winery. We are doing another Ivy League Psychic Fair there. This is going to be June 23rd. Now, if I'm sold out for that one, but I believe we have 4 other certified readers from my Ivy League Psychic Academy who do have some openings. If your reader is booked and you were strict on that reader, I had to have that reader. October 13th, we'll be back at Margin. So go ahead and pre-book with your reader. We're also taking walk-ins, and you can just go onto my website for that to book with all the readers. I will also be at Dunkirk's 4th of July celebration. For those of you who've never been down to Dunkirk for the 4th of July, it's always been huge, but I feel like it's getting bigger. If you're into Puerto Rican food, now we have a lot of Mexican food down here too. But there's a ton of different food vendors, and then a bunch of us like regular vendors. I know Merritt Winery will be down there with the slush bus, and they have a lot of bands playing, and then the fireworks, and it's all right there on the water, So, I mean, you get the best of sort of that good mix of, the vendors from town, but then also the nature element. And it's absolutely gorgeous every year. So I will be down there doing readings again. I think this is my 3rd or 4th year in a row doing this. And it's always packed. I would recommend you pre-book, but you could try your hand at a walk-in. Okay. So pre-booking on any of the stuff I just said, or if you want to book a private reading with me, if you want to get an email reading, or you need a love and relationship reading and you want some privacy, Rivera.com. What else were we supposed to announce, Jill? Oh, my haunted sleepover experiences here at the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home are starting to sell out. So if this is something you wanted to come check out with a group of your friends, it's up to 25 of your friends. You guys can come here. You get access to all 4 floors. I do a little opening speech giving you some history. And then you have the 2 lowest levels for the rest of the night for your haunted sleepover experience. So come check it out. You could also book your group for a paranormal investigation or for a historical tour, because this property is not only on the Haunted History Trail of New York State, it's also on the Historical Trail of Chautauqua County. All right, so I think one more, also Reiki training. A bunch of people have been coming to me lately saying, like, are you going to hold a Reiki training? I got a Reiki training. I feel like it didn't work. I feel like I didn't learn anything. I feel like the Reiki isn't actually flowing through me. Like, what happened at my Reiki training? Why did it go wrong? I understand. I've had similar experiences, and a lot of my students who come to me for Reiki training have that story. However, I'm not scheduled to hold a whole Reiki training right now because it does take 6 hours. It's a big commitment. The video download from the last Reiki training is available anytime. So you guys don't have to wait to do an in-person or live training and get certified. And this is for Reiki 1, 2, as well as Masters. So go up onto my website, check it out, and it's available evergreen. Okay. Also, I wanted to mention the psychic mediumship course is also coming up if you guys want to join anytime evergreen. But if you wanted to do in person or live, that's going to be January 25th. We start. Oh, sorry, January. I'm just making stuff up like randomly. That's January 7th through July 15th of 2025. Okay, so registration is now open. Also for the psychic mediumship course, but again, I have students taking class all the time, and it's evergreen. You do not have to wait. Okay, Jill, if we could go back, I just wanted to announce also a couple of the shows that I have coming up after this Get a Grip on Your Love Life and Relationships. Also, if you guys are on Instagram or TikTok, my producer Jill is posting in the comment section where you can drop your payment in question, because those 2 platforms don't allow us to pin it or even put it in the description. So I don't know, whatever. We do the best we can. All right, Roots Revival Interfaith. So church, the next church service I have coming up is on deprogramming for women. If you have, and you have, especially if you're an American woman, you've taken a hit to your self-esteem, your body image, your ability to feel confident speaking out more than likely. And we're going to go through a whole deprogramming on that. It's been highly requested. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to raise your confidence. It's going to help you to let go of some cult-like mentality and brainwashing that you've had from the patriarchy and capitalism and colonization. So we're going to break it all down here. This is going to be Sunday, June 16th. 9 p.m. Eastern, like I do all of my classes. This is going to be on all platforms. And I have one more show I wanted to announce, and then we're going to get into it. The 10 most common betrayals I see as a professional reader for the last 13 years working with the public. And really, I've been watching this stuff since I was a kid. And I've been doing relationship readings since I was a tween. So it's a lot of years. Okay. I'll be 45 in a couple days. Yes, mama. And I have a 5-star rating on this. So if you guys want to learn about the 10 most common betrayals that I see go on behind the scenes as a psychic medium and reader, and how you can catch someone who's doing this to you or to someone you love, that's going to be Thursday, June 20th at 9 p.m. Eastern on all platforms. Also, I did another one, I want to say about a week ago, and it was 10 signs they don't want to be with you and why they stay. So you may want to go back on YouTube at Ask Ivy and check that one out if you missed it. All right, so welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino airwalk. This is Get a Grip on Your Love Life and Relationships. Any type of relationship questions go. It does not have to be about a lover. It can be about your pet. It can be about a family member. You know, it can be about a coworker or a friendship, anything. Even your relationship to your own self. $5 gets you the short answer. $10 gets you the long answer. And again, my producer Jill is going to be taking your payment information and your question on Instagram and TikTok through the comment section, because we're not allowed to pin it up to the top if you don't like that. And if you're on TikTok, TikTok will shut me down. TikTok hates me and they always shut down my lives. So I would highly recommend, if you put your question in on TikTok, I would just switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy right now. Okay. But you could do everything on YouTube, payment, question, the works, if you choose to do that. Okay, Jill, let's go ahead and get into it. What do we have first? All right, Nicole asks a $10 question. So she wants to know, curious what you see for my love life for the rest of 2024. If there's not much happening, is there anything on the horizon for 2025? Okay. So Nicole, I do have you actually engaging in a very serious conversation, and there's talk of 3. Could it be 3 weeks? It could. I was going to say more like 3 months. So it could end up being both, where this very serious conversation I see you having with someone is kind of incrementally getting deeper and deeper. And I think that's a good sign, because when you meet people who are just exploding love bombing all over you and they want to like be your BFF, or they want to, you know, be the boyfriend of a lifetime, they're the knight in shining armor straight out of the gate, it's a major red flag. So what I like about this interaction is that it is a slow go. It's a slow roll, and it could take a while before you're having these sort of deeper conversations with this person. But it does seem like what you guys are doing around that 3-month mark is you're discussing things that went wrong. And this has to do with being vulnerable. It has to do with talking in a frank way about our strengths and weaknesses, and you having an opportunity to see with this person in regards to what went wrong in their relationships in the past, in their life in the past, whether or not they processed any of this. Okay. So in a nutshell, you don't want to be with some wet blanket, some weak link, some couch potato who's going to like ride your coattails and expect you to like be their therapist and be their mommy and like lead and guide them. And, they haven't like gone to therapy or dealt with any of it. And so I'm not saying that you're going to necessarily hear this story and be like, yeah, this this person's on the up and up. Like, I'll move them from the gray zone into a safe zone. I'll give them a little bit of my time. But I think there's a high likelihood that there are a couple different aspects of what they say and the way they live and the consistency they're showing in their day-to-day lifestyle and what they've done with like work and residency that makes you think, I may be willing to spend a little more time on this. So, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, of course, and you don't want to ever give anybody more credit than what they've earned. However, I do think that this conversation you're having is a bit of an eye opener, and it may sort of trigger you into feeling almost like your heart got unlocked and like this is something you're supposed to spend time on. And I would definitely agree. Take it slow, but yes, taller, brown hair, lighter eyes, big hands, good in business, a little bit on the shy side. But I would say less than being like, or more than being shy. It's more like someone who's a bit of an introvert. Okay. And we want people who have guarded energy because they typically have intuitive intelligence, emotional awareness, and a little more common sense than the average person. All right, let's move on to another one. So this is a $10 question. And I'm seeing Edgar is also a member. Thank you, Edgar. So Edgar wants to know, does my cat Kobe that passed away have any messages for me? Thank you. The only thing I'm really getting from Kobe is sitting on your feet, and you may sense him in the bed at night. And I don't know if you're one of these people that like struggles with like the fan and then it's too cold and then it's like, okay, now I'm sweating, but it's like I see your blankets all bunched up and like your legs hanging out and then you're back under the blankets. But I see the cat trying to lay directly on your feet and your ankles and give healing energy. And this is symbolic of trying to create movement in your life, but through your decision to elevate your confidence level and take more action on the things that you want to see happen in regards to like your long-term goals, for example. And I feel like the cat is trying in getting you to move forward. Again, the symbol of the feet, putting energy in the feet and the legs, is also trying to help you to release some things from the past. So if you have some regrets from the past, guilt from the past, if there's shadow work that needs to be done in regards to past relationships, family dynamics, things that you've also heard. So the other thing he's showing me is almost like your ears, like plugging your ears. Wouldn't it have been nice if we were able as children to just do this and actually have it work so we didn't have trauma the rest of our lives? You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to pay attention to the way your own inner voice is speaking to yourself. And when it isn't nice, it isn't kind, it isn't patient, it isn't loving, it isn't promotional. It's not your greatest cheerleader. You need to sort of cut cords with that. Okay. So Kobe is helping you with that. A ton of love. Also red rose, which is a deep love, almost like a romantic love. I feel like this cat was like in love with you. Okay. Literally in love with you. So there's some soulmate energy going on here. It's very sweet. Thank you, Edgar. We are going to move on to another one. And this is from an Ayana, and this is a $10 question. Ayana wants to know, will Ty and I live together within the next 1 to 2 years? I feel like there's a possibility for that happening about midway through the first year that you're talking about. Almost like the second and the third quarter. Okay, right there. And it seems to go in and then it seems to go out. Now, that can mean a couple different things are probably going to happen. And you both have free will, so you can handle this however you want. But the highest likelihood is that there's some type of movement forward and making this happen. And then there could be some kind of a fallout. And we could see that with Ty's energy, there's an offense and there's a sense of either being pushed or having my buttons pushed, or the stress is getting me. Some people don't handle stress very well. And when they don't handle it well and they're a little bit more extroverted, it could spew out onto other people or they run their mouth. And this may be something that you don't see with this individual because you've never lived together or because you've not been together that long. I always caution my clients to really, when I say take it slow, I mean take it slow. SLOW. Okay. We're talking 3 years, 4 years. Take it slow because you don't see how someone really is until you've seen them repeatedly in trialsome circumstances. And so to have something happen once or even twice is not enough. And this could end up being a stressful situation. Okay. So you may see some things and be like, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Remember, you're never in too deep. Okay. You could back out of anything at any time. I don't care. Marriage, right? Having a whole family with someone, being in another country with if you want to back out, you back out. Okay. Drop it. But I do think that if, that doesn't work out during that time, it may not be coming up again. So we'll see how each person behaves and what we bring to the table during that time. All right, let's move on to another one. Thank you so much for your question. We have one from a fairy godmother, and this is a $10 question. So fairy godmother wants to know, I'm wondering if any potential relationship with Mike C or Mike S. Okay, let's see. Mike C. These are very different characters. You just like to just ping pong all over the place. This is like a huge dichotomy here. Let's start with Mike S. A little bit of a player mentality going on here, a little bit of a, I think I'm smooth, I think I have charm, I think I'm maybe funnier than, what he really is. But that could be flattering to you because it's like he's trying to make you laugh. He's trying to make you feel as though he is this confident person so that maybe your libido is up, you're more attracted to him as that kind of alpha, I guess. But it's not really working because energy doesn't lie. And so his true self is not up there, which means he can't maintain that. And when somebody falls from that position or their mask falls off or there's a moment where you see them clearly, they're going to have a temper tantrum about the fact that their ego is bruised in that moment. And they may even blame you or take it out on you. Okay. So this person's got some bipolar energy going on here because they're not really authentic in regards to who they are when they are getting involved in romantic partnerships, especially. When we go over here with Mike C, we have the polar opposite. We have someone who underestimates their value. We have someone who underestimates how hot they are. We have someone who isn't really trying to push a storyline or an agenda or hustle you in any way. But because of that, it may come off as disinterested or excessively detached, emotionally unavailable, whatever it is. If I were to pick one of these, I would go with Mike C because I feel like it's more compatible with what your higher mind and your heart really wants right now, which is like, I'll dig through the sand for a clam and maybe this clam has a pearl in it. And it's sort of like this whole thing is true. This little like treasure hunt fairy tale going on in here, but he's a lot of work, I mean, and you're going to have to be slow. I don't have a problem with that for you because, again, the payout is there. I do think that when you're asking about a relationship, we're talking about commitment, we're talking about monogamy, we're talking about maybe long-term commitment or cohabitation or engagement, or it depends exactly on what you're looking for. I'm not always sure he's fully on the boat for that. He is not only a slow go in getting invested in a relationship, but once he's in, he could become a little bit needy. He could be a lot. And he could sort of have to work on centering you. Remember, we're never supposed to center another person. We have to, the only way to keep growing in a relationship and to maintain any type of a relationship is to continue to center ourselves and then share what we can with someone else. So we'll see what he does at that point. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good time with it. That's cute. Lucy has a $5 question. Okay. Lucy, good to see you always. Okay, so Lucy has a $5 question. I'm wondering if I have any words of wisdom from my sister Nina or my grandma Corrine in regards to the breakup I'm going through. Oh, thank you. Okay. Let me see what I heard. Just leave it there. Okay, just leave him there. Just leave it there. And this is mostly your grandma, but your sister has a way of like slamming a door on someone or slamming a door on their foot. Okay, so I wonder if he was trying to like get back in, or if he was like, I'm leaving, and then like kept his foot in the door. You know, people are crafty in the way that they act, like very dramatic about things, like I'm out of here, and then they're lingering and they're still kind of messaging, or like they left something at your house, or there's just one more thing, or let's get closure. All of that is BS. All of that is an attempt to keep you on the line. And the way your sister slams the door on this person's foot and is basically trying to get them out of the way so you can close the door the rest of the way and lock it is what I think your grandmother is trying to say in her own way, which is that this is something you need to leave behind and not look back on. I do think it's like he fit perfectly like a peg in the hole, in your life, right? When he did arrive. And in a lot of ways, there are valuable lessons you're going to take from this that will last you the rest of your life. So this is one for the journal, this is one for life experience and karmic lessons for sure, but keep going. And that means, and as your psychic, that means I'm not responding to this text. I'm not like, if you have to block and walk away, then block and walk away. Because this is not a person who's going to go away. You control that. You decide that, though. You really do. Okay, thank you so much for your question, Lucy. We are going to move on to another one. If you guys are tuning in late and I forgot to ask, could you please give this video a thumbs up wherever you are? I do ask everyone to please switch over to YouTube at Ask Ivy. It's the platform that helps me out the most. If everybody could drop a comment of any kind, it helps me out in the algorithm. And if you are on YouTube and you want to become a member, hit the join button to see the different tiered options. So taking love and relationship questions today, $5 gets you the short answer, $10 gets you the long answer. And if you want to book privately with me, Rivera Psychic Medium.com. Tammy Dudick has a $10. She wants to know, do I have a serious romantic relationship in the future with AJ or Sam? AJ or Sam? AJ reads as being, there's a lot of depth here, but there's also this alter ego. There's this personality that comes out. Okay, I think what I'm looking at here with this person is that there is a lot of depth. There is a lot of stability. There is an incredible amount of focus. And that could benefit a relationship. That could be very lucrative in career. There are a lot of benefits. But this person on the surface presents as being like aloof or unavailable or detached or ghosty, or I'm here and I'm there and I'm hot and I'm cold and I'm whatever. And it's important to understand that with some people, they're doing this very deliberately. It is a control tactic. It is a manipulative tactic. I don't necessarily disagree with it. I understand why he's doing it. And I understand that he's doing it not only to protect himself, 100% acceptable, but also to slow the roll on some things to make sure that he's setting a tone for like lack of availability. Don't expect me to, be here for you, 24/7 or to be your base. When we're not there yet, I won't be doing level jumping here, but I also think sometimes he's doing it in a manipulative type of way, to say like, I'm essentially unavailable. So if he were to ghost, if it were to go somewhere and then he were to decide, you know what, I changed my mind, I want out, something sparkly over here just caught my eye, he would be like, but I always told you that. I always told you I wasn't available, right? You're getting it wrong. And it's like, you're not getting it wrong. He is giving mixed messages and signals because he himself as a whole unit is a mixed message and signal, So I think, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't deal with it unless I'm just looking to have a good time, or keep him like as a friend. When I go over here with Sam, it's a very different story. You're another one who's picks polar opposite people here. When I go over here with Sam, Sam actually does have long-term stability options if you were looking for something more serious. Um, he's very focused on work and career for a while, and that's going to go on for at least a year and a half, 2 years. When you try to get involved with someone who's very, very focused on their career, you have to know you're not going to be number one, and it's going to hurt. It's going to burn. You're going to get, left out in the cold sometimes, but that's what he's supposed to be doing. And I don't blame him for doing it. It's part of his life contract. So if you want to kind of be on the sidelines with him, it could end up being someone you feel quite a connection to. Maybe by the end of that year out, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if I were you, I would just keep playing the field. I mean, neither one of these are really hitting the mark, But I mean, I would date both of them. Like, there's nothing terrible. It is interesting energy. Just don't take it too seriously. All right, we're going to move on to another one. And this is coming in from Maraid. Okay, Maraid. Also a member. So Maraid wants to know, when will I be in a new relationship with someone? I see somebody who's wider in through the shoulders, bigger arms, but like long arms and like long limbs in general, and quite tall. So I think I'm talking 6'1". I feel lighter brown hair. Sometimes it's looking a bit darker. And I think that, this person's kind of pale, like a little pasty. Maybe burns in this. Like, I see you trying to like drag him out onto the beach, and it's like, okay, we need a lot of sunblock. Okay. Or this is going to ruin everything. So, he kind of feels like a kid. I don't know, like he didn't know to do that for himself. I think that he's very innocent in a lot of ways. And I wonder if, he's on the spectrum a bit, or if there's some other neurodivergence going on here with him. He's very, very innocent in love. And if you've ever seen like Love on the Spectrum, and I'm not saying it's, quite that, extreme. Some of them had it more extreme than others. But I think that it's something you may fall in love with, and it allows for you to be vulnerable. It allows for you to let go of all the BS that comes along with, like, is this person deceiving me? What's going on their phone? Is there a reason I'm getting my back up? You can more easily decipher as you go forward with this person, whether or not it's your past trauma, it's your fear, it's your ego, it's a part of your generational curse and your shadow work, and it's bullshit and it's your stuff, versus no, he's doing something behind my back. This person is an open book. It is crystal clear. What you see is what you get. And I think this is good for you. I also think that it may take a while for this to come in. Okay. So I'm seeing really the next 2 years. It looks like this is becoming a valuable, consistent player in your life. Up until then, what you may be dealing with is like the opposite of that. You may be dealing with people who are very interested in getting together with you, and that's fine. That's great. And you may choose to get involved in a relationship with 2 or 3 of these, I want to say like 6 to 7 people that I'm seeing, and that's okay. But ultimately what you may find is that what they presented at the beginning, they weren't able to keep up with, throughout the relationship. So the first one that I see significantly coming in is coming in, I want to say between the 3rd and the 4th month out from now, and it's peaking at about the 6th month. So keep your options open for a while. I would not be moving in with anyone. That's, that's for sure. For a while, I would wait on this one. Okay, thank you so much, Maraid. We are going to move on to another one. We have one from Julie, and this is a $10 question. Julie wants to know, what does my love life have in store for me? Do we reconcile? Wondering why manifesting isn't working. What? Who? With who? Was there more to this? Okay, you guys include names. If you're referring to someone specific, I want the first name or the initials. And this is also like anyone else? Is there like, okay. Oh, Chris, got it, got it. Let me just start over. What does my love life have in store for me with Chris? Do we reconcile? No. I'm wondering why manifesting isn't working, because it's not working, because it's not supposed to work. You can't manifest something that's toxic for you. You can't manifest something you haven't earned in the universe. You can't manifest something that is not within your life contract to have. That's why manifestation tools and all of these techniques are usually BS, and we can waste a ton of energy trying to manipulate the universe, but you can't fool the universe. So, what you should be manifesting at this time or using your law of attraction to do is to heal and move forward, but also talk to maybe a therapist or journal out or do some self-help in regards to why you've tolerated this for so long, why you know it's toxic, it isn't working for you, you saved space, you felt as though you were betrayed in some ways, and then you still just kept coming back for another beating on this. So that's really where the healing needs to be, and that's the only place manifestation will be working. And I think that what you're going to have to do also is clean all of that up before you could authentically move on with someone else of high value. Okay. So no, none of this. That's why it's not working. I would also recommend that you check out, and this is really for anybody, the relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class up on my website, because Chris is one who's pulling and tugging at your energy. And when you have someone pulling and tugging at a cord, and you get cords for one of two reasons, you either have a karmic contract with this person, which means debt owed. Those are hard. Or you have a soulmate contract. Now, this is karmic, but they can feel identical. And when you break up, it can feel like obsession, drop in body temperature, flu-like symptoms, shaking. You're haunted by them. They show up in your dreams. Their name is coming up all the time. There are signs and symbols in the universe. You read it wrong. You think, oh, I need closure, or we're supposed to go back. And then they pop up just at the right time. They didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They are sending you energy through that cord. They are tugging and pulling at you. And then they know just when to pop up because they put in the hours in doing it. So you may want to check out that class to get educated, and I would cut that cord quick. All right, we're going to move on to another one. This is from a Rachel Spade. This is a $10 question and 42. Rachel wants to know, is the work I'm doing in therapy now going to help with future? Oh my God, I love that you said this. I'm obsessed with this. This is fantastic, Rachel. Okay. So when we do the work, shadow work, we go to a therapist, whatever, we do the self, work after coming out of a toxic relationship, or usually a series of toxic relationships. What we're doing is two different things. We're clearing out the old toxic energy from our aura so that all the duds and losers who keep getting attracted to us will start to fall off. They'll never fall off entirely, but it will start to dip and it will be noticeable. Also, at that point, better people could start coming in. Higher vibrational individuals will not read your energy as toxic, unavailable, or rejecting, because that is how it reads, even if it's not true. And the other aspect is that your prosperity is increasing because you're essentially letting go of toxic energy from yourself. So you are more in the flow with manifestation, law of attraction. So you're making more money, you're increasing in all types of communication, from friends to business networking to lovers. Your health is going to health problems you had for a long time may actually completely disappear. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens. Okay, a ton of benefits from doing this. And for your specific therapy, Rachel, I do feel like it's actually going to work. First of all, I feel like you have a pretty good therapist. And I feel like this is a person who is like pointing things out. So I always recommend that if you're going to a therapist, you just every week or 2 weeks, you just feel like, I don't know, I kind of drudged up maybe shit from the past, or I'm just not feeling anything. I'm not feeling like I'm getting anywhere. And they're not actively triggering you or pushing your buttons or, pushing you harder. You should walk out of therapy sometimes and feel like you got hit by a freight train, right? And especially in relationships, we often don't think of it as like trauma therapy, but a lot of it is, or betrayal trauma, all kinds of things. And I feel like, Rachel, any issues you were dealing with in therapy with attachment style and codependency, I feel like we're also really getting to some of those core issues. So I like this. I feel that most importantly, though, you are honoring yourself more. And whether you got that from therapy or you just got that from the process of like taking yourself to therapy and doing the work is debatable, maybe both, but you're honoring yourself more. You're understanding your value more. And, you're like that queen on the throne. It's helping to keep you centered and in a position of empowerment. And that is absolutely going to help you with relationships in the future. But now, that's not the most important thing to focus on. It's you, kudos. All right. Love it, Rachel. She is awesome. She is an awesome therapist. I should probably go back. I should get her number from you. All right, let's move on to a Priscilla. This is a $10 question. Okay, so Priscilla wants to know, will a relationship happen with Alex, or am I wasting your time? I think you're wasting your time. When I look over here to the future, I see Alex's past getting dragged along behind him with chains and anchors and baggage. And this is not a person. This is a person who needs to go to therapy. All right. And you can't mother anyone. You can't encourage, because you're going to get negative karmic kickback. It's none of your business. And if he doesn't want to do the work, then he has to suffer the consequences of that. And by no means should you be willing to go down with that ship. At this point, I think you need to work a little bit more on repellent. And so try to think of people as being repelling energy, and how they're not who they look like. They're not themselves. They're not a person. This isn't someone you may want to hop in the sack with. This isn't someone who's like physically hot. This isn't someone who you have great banter with or you get butterflies with. No. They are nothing more than energy. That's what humans are at the core. Remove the meat suit. That's all we are, right? We're a big old ball of energy. And when you see repellent energy in someone, or you feel it like you are here, you want to train yourself to be like, I don't want to have anything to do with that, versus I must have that. Okay. And you may want to start looking at why it is that you're so attracted to that. A lot of us are programmed. We have a church service coming up on deprogramming for women. A lot of us are programmed to want more of that rejection. And so there's a wound there. And it takes a lot of practice, but you have to not want it. I think of the approach I take with certain people who want to get me to chase them. And it's becoming more and more common that they want to, and I don't agree with masculine and feminine BS, divine feminine. And, when men are in their feminine, they want to be chased. I don't agree with these masculine and feminine stereotypes. But that one does make me laugh when they say men are in their feminine because they just want to be chased. I am so turned off by that. And I think you need to work on seeing it clearly for what it is. So just, break it down a little bit more. No, that's not someone who's looking for that. Okay. He may enjoy a cheerleader though. Good luck with that. Okay, we are going to move on to another one from Edgar. We have another $10 from Edgar here. So that's going to be Edgar says, can I get a love prediction for myself and Jennifer for the remainder of 2024? I'm trying to work on the friendship and find ways to talk to each other more. I see interest from her. Yeah, I'm sure you do see interest from her. So Jennifer working on the friendship, and you want to know, for the remainder of 2024. So it's June. So we're talking 2 more quarters. What happens? Well, the end of the upcoming quarter, it looks like there could be a pretty intense conversation coming up here. I get goosebumps. I get chills, and I'm like, ooh. If you're ever talking to someone and there's that turning point where it's like, oh God, this just got like vulnerable, or like we just admitted it. You know what I mean? That there's like this thing between us. She seems to, I don't know if she's single at that time or if she's just done with this person. But she doesn't care. It comes out. And I feel like this is happening probably at work, which is really interesting. So like maybe in like the break room, or I don't know, you guys are like talking I feel like I'm in a corner, or there are a lot of like corners, I think that what you should do with it at that point is just to kind of like back off. Don't get detached. Don't run away. Don't present as though it affected you in a negative way. But I do think it's a bit of a wake-up call that things have now escalated. We're moving this on to the next level, and we need to do it carefully. I think that you may choose at that point to kind of let it settle in and wait to see how she's going to act after this. Make sure you reciprocate. Of course, she says something new that's kind of revealing. Make sure you reciprocate, but then, kind of pull back a little bit and let things settle in. I think that people act differently after one of those moments, one of those defining moments. And so you want to see if she's going to be consistent and stable and wanting to feed more of this relationship, or she's going to act a little bit nutty and inconsistent and like rattled by the whole thing. So you deserve the committed out of her, right? And I think hold the friendship, hold the line, keep it steady. But then it would be into the middle of that next quarter after that, okay, that we start to see it become possibly a little steamy, regardless of how that first thing goes. Okay, interesting. All right, Edgar, have a good time with it. Love it. Latasha has a $10 question. Okay. Yes, I have to count on my fingers. Jill, we are going to wrap it up with whoever has already sent them in. We'll take everyone who's already sent them in after this. All right, Latasha has a $10 question. She says, can you see when I'm getting married? Married? You may be getting married within like a year. I mean, there's talk of the end of the year. Do I think it's the end of this year? I mean, it's possible. I was going to say more like at the end of like a year out from now. But I think that is possible. It also seems like there could be some factors coming in to slow that down. And it's like you don't hear about it or you don't know about it, so it seems to go from consistent conversation about how this is going to happen to sort of like a surprise, this is going to happen, so there would be obviously in regards to your partner's circumstances, them being able to bring in this element of surprise because there are only 2 people involved in this thing, so I think that this is a time for you to really focus more on the space that you currently have, enjoying that. I guess you could call it quiet time. Okay. Enjoying your single life. Sometimes, we don't take the time to appreciate where we are right now. We're so focused on like, when will this thing come in? When will this change? When will I have this, sort of dream? And we don't realize that sometimes we're living in the best moments. I think that it's also best to keep this thing moving forward for you to center yourself and keep doing what's going to make you happy in regards to your career, your finances, your residency, any growth you want to have in your life, instead of taking into consideration the whole marriage thing. So as long as you're doing that, the universe will abide and will promote that. The universe never promotes when we are centering someone else or something that isn't here yet and saying that's going to dictate all the decisions I make. So that would bring negative karmic kickback. Okay. So if it is stalling, yes, I did say, and I agree still with what I said earlier in regards to a lot of that's coming from your partner, but this aspect could also be coming from you. Okay. So good luck with all of that. All right. Thank you, Latasha. We are going to move on to another question. This is from an Ayana, and this is $5 question. Okay, a $5 question. Are there any new friendships coming for me soon? Okay. So I just did a free mini class for the YouTube members, and if you become a member, it's pinned so you can watch it on how to make friends. This was a couple days ago, and I think that you're using a lot of the techniques that I mentioned in that class. But I think you're also missing a couple. And the couple that you may want to focus on more now, currently. Okay. We're in the middle of your energy now. And for the next, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. And then for approximately 4 to 5 months, you're going to want to put yourself in situations where you're focused more on active listening when you're encountering people, and you're making yourself more available when you're out. So try not to think of it as, oh, I'm going to go join this class, or I'm going to go join this group, or I'm going to go to this place so that I can make new friends. Try to think of it more like the potential to make friends is there at all times. Anytime we leave the house, anytime we go online, the potential is here. And so one of the things you're going to want to start feeding into are the random interactions you're having with people, and making sure that you're listening more actively to them, and you're sort of asking more questions about them. You're kind of playing into it. So stay a minute, and linger. I do feel like there are some potential friends coming in here, but they don't necessarily feel like the BFF type. They feel like acquaintances that also have that friendship value, and another one who feels like a friend, but who isn't necessarily, going to move up to that best friend category for a couple years. Okay, so one looks like a male, one looks like a female. So yeah, absolutely. Have fun with it. All right, we're going to move on to another question. This is from Christina. This is a $10 question. Okay, Christina wants to know, is there a reason why my ex Manny keeps popping up in my dreams? I keep thinking about him in very random moments, and I'm not sure what he wants from me. I feel like he wants closure. I feel like he can't get past you. And so it's almost like he's trying to move on with someone else, and he can't. I also think he's having like impotency issues, and we have to get into it all, but sometimes you have to. Men are in very vulnerable positions right now. Okay. The D isn't working because we do have the men's loneliness epidemic, which they caused. Okay. Which they perpetuate, mind you. So no sympathy there. But when someone gets depressed, okay, they can't get it up. And he's not really going to therapy. He's not really dealing with this stuff. So he's bad in bed. And he's like digging through his past to figure out where he maybe lost it. I'm sorry, this is terrible. But, you know, he may have lost not only his heart on, but he may have lost like his sense of esteem after like he lost you. So he's like he's digging around looking for answers in the wrong place. Okay, he needs to be going inward. He needs to be going to therapy. Um, he needs to also learn that sexual contact with someone is not the equivalent of intimacy. And hopefully I don't get shut down for using some of these words. I probably will. I don't know, whatever. We've gotten through most of the show. I'm sorry, Christina, if that happens. But I think that, you know, what you need to do is like cut that thing off and just be, you know, check out the relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class that I mentioned. Because it's not your job to deal with him in any way. And he can't go back there. You know, he is trying, like a lot of people do, to go back to the past and is like stirring and brewing over these past relationship dynamics, hoping that he isn't making a mistake and wondering if there's like a lack of closure, he needs to go back to you. And it's like never going to happen. Never going to happen in a million years. Okay. So keep that door shut. I think of the Tom Petty song, "Don't Come Around Here No More." Mm-mm-mm. All right. Thank you for that question, Christina. And we are at time. All right, perfect. If you guys need to book any type of a reading, past life, life contract, money, love and relationships, psychic mediumship, pet readings, what have you, you can go on to Rivera Psychic Medium.com. I lost TikTok right in the nick of time. And hope to see you guys at the Psychic Mediumship course. Again, registration is now open if you wanted to join live. It is limited seating, and that starts in January, or we are evergreen. Okay, so you can go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com for that. Thanks so much, Jill. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Spirit. Have a great night.